And we are live.
Yeah, there we
on
go.
The Indian Motorcycle World live stream on Anonymous Biker USA channel. I want to welcome Christopher David Lawson of NEPA. Undead Viking Zombie from the UK.
That's me.
Ricky Not So Martin. Are you there, Ricky?
Yes, sir. Can you guys hear me?
All right, Ricky. Welcome. You're out of Austin, Texas, right, Ricky?
Yes, sir. What's up?
There he is. There he is. And Star Barber, can you hear us? All right. Well, she'll join us. She was getting her head.
That's me.
There we go. You look different in pictures.
Yeah. So, hey, Ricky, what we're going to do is I got a bunch of questions. I was going to go around one by one and ask you guys and each give you time to speak so we don't overtalk each other.
Sounds like a plan.
Good. All right. So why don't we just start? Chris, you want to introduce yourself, state you're from, and then what you're riding?
Christopher David Lawson of NEPA. That's my name. And the town I live in is Northeast PA. That's where NEPA comes from. I ride a 2018 Indian Scout 60, also known as Blackie Lawless.
Nice. How about you, Zombie? Sean, you there? All right, Ricky, you there?
Yes, sir.
How about you? What you riding? Where you from?
Well, I'm originally from Puerto Rico, and I moved to Austin, Texas in 2017, and I ride an Indian Scout Bobber, 2018.
Nice.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, mate. This is just a bit of a repeating audio.
Turn off your YouTube. Just leave the StreamYard on and mute the YouTube.
And if you have a delay, turn your camera off on the live stream. Just leave the microphone on.
You got it, Sean?
Yeah, that's better. I think that was me.
There you go. So, Sean, tell us where you're from and what do you ride?
Whoa. I'm just shutting off a few bits. Yeah, sorry, guys. I'm from the UK, just outside London, and I ride a 2017 Indian Chieftain, and it's probably the best bike ever ridden.
Very cool. All right. Anybody know where Star is?
She was doing something to hook her headphones up. I don't know where she went.
All right. So let's go back. Hey, Ricky, how long you been riding?
Actually, I started riding 2016. I bought my first bike. I rode it for about 300 miles, and then that's when I got the Bobber. So technically, the Bobber's my first bike.
What was the first bike?
It was a bike from China. I bought it online for $1,500. It came in a box.
That's like the SRK Cycle box.
Yeah.
Okay. Did it run well?
It was super nice, man. I didn't give it a lot of maintenance, so I think that's where it gave me problems. But I think if I would have given it, people here on YouTube actually write it in. Yeah, it's been riding for years. It's really good, actually. I had a lot of fun.
Chris, how long you been riding?
Oh God, like 12 years, 13 years.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay. Mr. Zombie?
Oh, long time, mate. I don't want to give away too much of my age, but probably started riding at the age of 16. So
3 years.
Yeah, that's it, mate. So three odd years. Let me just see. It's about nearly 30 years now.
Good deal. All right. So far to date, on your current bike, what is the your favorite bike modification, Zombie?
Oh, I don't know, man. I've done a few different things that I really like for different reasons. I like the new screen that I've got because I've got the tall screen, which is good for the audio and also good for sheltering you a little bit from the wind. But all in all, probably has to be the exhaust modifications. It sounds awesome. Stage ones and a bit of a decat with a remap, and it sounds pretty good.
What exhaust are you running on that bike?
I'm riding the Indian stage ones.
Okay.
So it's just the basic slip-ons, but it sounds pretty good. I mean, the decat really is what made the biggest difference. Mm-hmm. It's it really changed the sound in a big way. And I think one of the things that goes quite nicely with that, also the bike runs a lot cooler.
Right.
So you don't have all that heat built up. So it's not maybe so good in the winter over here because you lose a bit of heat. I tend to find because I ride all year long, in the winter I tend to hug the exhaust a little bit just to get a bit of extra heat. Bet. But now that it's gone, you do get a little bit colder.
Now, Ricky, I think I know this answer coming from you, but I'm going to ask you anyway. What's that favorite bike mod?
You know it, boss. The exhaust for sure.
Yeah. What kind do you have?
I have the Freedom Performance Combat 2-in-1.
Yeah, I can hear it from here.
Yeah. pretty damn loud.
Yeah. That video has what, 100,000 views?
Oh man, it's 200,000 something.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Phenomenal.
You're the man.
Nah, I think it's just, nobody else had that exhaust, so
yeah.
It's like the video of that exhaust. So I'm a lucky
Chris, how about you, buddy?
Probably my Mustang seat and my sheepskin. My ass doesn't get sore.
You have the solo seat?
Yeah, I have the solo seat with a backrest on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Ricky, what kind of seat you running on the bobber?
The original one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You got an iron butt.
Yeah. Close to 15,000 miles on that seat.
Woo!
Yeah. But my wife is she's the brave one.
She's riding on that little solo seat in the back?
Yep. Most of those miles with me, yep.
Lord. Good for her. Sean, you got the stock seat on your bike still?
No, mate. I changed it. I've got the Roadmaster seats on my bike now, which is a lot more comfortable, and also it obviously it's heated, so it helps a little bit in the winter as well now.
Heated seat, very nice.
Yeah, so it's to be fair, when they first changed it, because I'd never really used a heated seat before, I've always just ridden. And they'd just done it, and I was riding along, and something just didn't feel right. It was just like, I couldn't understand what it was. And then I realized that actually my backside was on fire. I had to stop and figure out how to put the heating off, but it certainly works quite well.
You have heated grips on that bike also?
No.
Okay.
To be fair, I don't worry about things like that normally.
Right.
Just got some decent gloves and just get on the bike and ride, mate.
Yeah, well, you ride through some pretty bad weather up there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, particularly when you head to Scotland and all of that, even to go into Europe, the weather can be quite changeable. I've been in quite a few situations out on the road, even when I was in Germany, with my open face helmets and my jeans and, completely not prepared for anything. And then the next thing you just get hail hitting you in the face and all that kind of stuff. And you're just in the middle of nowhere. There's no place to stop. You just have to keep going. So yeah, to be fair, I like it. It's good when it's challenging.
You got some big miles over there.
Yeah, I did about 30,000 miles last year, and that was
mostly
in the summer, really. I probably did about 20,000 odd miles in a few months, and the rest was sort of split over the winter. But yeah, I definitely I couldn't stop riding last year.
Very cool. Welcome, Mr. Saddle Tramp, to the panel. How you doing, bud?
Doing all right, man. I'm late. I meant to catch you by 7 o'clock, but I guess I'm just like the typical high school kid late for class.
That's all right. We'll forgive you.
Okay, thanks so much.
Yeah.
This time.
Hey, what's up, Chris? What's up, Ricky and Undead Viking Zombie? That's cool, man. New guys. I never met you guys yet.
No, I've seen you on anonymous channels though.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So checking out some of the side chat. We got Boots and Jeans Riders here. Ozarks HD.
Ozarks was around.
Mr. Brandon Picasso. What's up, B?
Hey.
Meatball Rebel lurking as usual. Yeah, Dark Visor, Bombshell Biker. Cool, everybody's here. So Mad Kiwi too. What's up, Mad Kiwi? So Ricky, what's the next bike mod that you're thinking of doing?
That you asked me about it. The seat, I think that's
okay.
That's definitely high on my list for sure. Especially if we do that trip.
Yeah.
The long trips, yeah, for sure. The seat is what I'm looking at.
What are you looking to get in?
I want to try out the comfort seat because I definitely love the look of how it looks, from factory. But obviously the comfort, and I'm not too worried about the comfort, is that it doesn't have that little lip to hold you in. So when you open it up, you feel like you're gonna fall off.
Yeah.
So that's what I would like more, like a little lip on the seat. So I'm trying to see if the comfort seat has that.
Gotcha. Chris, what's your next bike mod coming?
I don't know. I got to change the spark plugs. That's about the biggest thing I have planned right now.
Okay. How about you, Zombie?
Well, I've got a few things that I want to do really, but I think the main thing is just to add a pillion backrest. Not because I'm looking for that, but it's really as a luggage option.
Okay.
Obviously, the more you ride, then it's just like trying to cart all the camera stuff along, you just run out of space. So I think that's the main thing I'm after at the moment.
Yeah. Now, Mr. Tramp, I know you have a slew of modifications on your bikes coming.
Oh yeah. I have an infinite places to start from
That's
as
correct.
far as what to do next, but I am working on something at the moment with the Iron Head.
And what would that be?
Well, I was kind of shooting from the hip today, doing my regular thing throughout the day, and then I decided to get to the garage and mess with the motorcycle parts that I have, meaning that the heads that I have had absolutely no paint on them, and figured I'll figure out a way to paint them without getting the combustion chamber and the valves all painted up. And so it's kind of a fun, I say fun, I don't know, sketchy way of doing things. And as I say in some of my videos, I'm by no means a professional. So you get to see what kind of a fool I'm making myself of the next upload.
Sure seemed pretty professional to me.
No, I just make it up as I go along, and then you see the professionals coming along. But what in the world is that goofball doing? So don't take. That's why I said in this next video, there's a point where I go, "Hey guys, don't try this at home."
That's right. So, Chris, how long have you been doing YouTube with your channel?
Can you hear me?
Chris, you there? Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, we hear you. How about you, Ricky?
Chrome keeps
Ricky, how long have you been doing YouTube?
Google Chrome.
You can't hear him? Anonymous, he's talking right now.
I got him.
Okay. Got it? All right. God, really, I've only been doing it about a year and a half.
Okay. How about you, Ricky?
Yeah, that was on November I uploaded that first video. I'm slacking on the next one.
That exhaust was your first video?
Yeah.
You got to be kidding me.
Yeah. I'm telling you,
200,000 views on your first video.
I feel the pressure, brother. Don't mention it.
They were looking forward to the second one.
That's why I haven't. That's why I procrastinated. I'm like, holy crap.
Well, Ricky, if that new seat gets 200K views, we're all coming to your house.
Yeah. There's something to me then. Yeah.
Zombie,
I know you kind of were in it around the same time I was. So how long you been at it?
Not long. I started late summer last year.
Yeah.
So it was just completely by accident, and I obviously started doing my rides, much longer rides, and lots more of them. Okay. And I just sort of thought, let's stick a camera on and see what's what. But I mean, to be fair, at the time, I had no idea about nothing. I mean, I couldn't even put a few photos together, never mind do a video. So it's been a steep learning curve.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, we'll start with Mr. Tramp. What kind of camera setup do you use when you're doing your videos?
Usually it's not so uncommon that I'm using 4 different cameras, and it depends on what I'm doing. Now, if I'm doing something with when it comes to the whole motor vlogging thing, where I'm riding down the road, I'm using 2 different cameras, and I'm still using the Hero 3 on my helmet with a microphone hooked to it. And I have a Hero 4 Session on my handlebars. Okay. So when I'm talking to the audience and the viewing audience, when I got a GoPro on a stick, I'm using a Hero GoPro 8 black, that is, And and a lot of the stuff that I do in my garage, I usually bounce back and forth between the 8 and my this camera right here, which is a Canon GFG20, which was the bee's knees about 5 years ago. Now there's always something better than that, but it still gets the job done, you know. So that's pretty much what I use.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it. Oh, and every once in a while, I'll use my cell phone for convenience sake.
Right. How about you, Chris? You there?
Hopefully. Can you hear me still?
Yes, sir.
I use a Hero 7 black on my helmet, Hero 6 for my second camera,
Okay.
black, and I have a 7 silver for off the bike.
How about you, Ricky?
I use regularly for the videos, obviously on the POV of the helmet. That's the GoPro. It's a Hero Black 6. I have Sony A7 III. Love that camera. Recommend it.
Is that the one you taking all your Instagram photos with?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really nice. Yeah. Autofocus is really good. And then especially for videos is really badass. And then I also have the Mavic DJI Mavic 2, the Zoom one.
Big time.
Yeah,
Look at you.
Man, styling.
Yeah.
I love all this about, you know, especially the cinematography part of videos. That's definitely my favorite.
How about you, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, I'm just using 2 cameras, although I've got 5 positions earmarked. My main camera is the Euro 7 Black, which I use on the helmets. And I've got a Euro 8 Black, which I use on the rear view at the moment. Main reason for that really is just because I find the 7 actually works a little bit better because of the doors, you know, being able to charge the battery on the go. Otherwise, with the 8, I've managed to get some additional mods, but the problem is I've set the helmets up the way that it is now, and the 7 and 8 have got the charging doors on different sides, so that's why even though I've got the 8, I'm using that on the rear. But yeah, it works quite well, and what's quite nice about it is I've got my GoPro audio wired directly into my Cardo system, so there's no extra wires, and it seems to work really well. It took me a while to find a solution like that, but now that it's going, I'm enjoying it.
I got Star Barbara in the side here waiting to pop in. I got to get her in here. Hang on one second.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you are, Star. You hear us?
Yo.
Yep.
There she is.
Sorry, my AirPods were dead, and so
that's all right. It happened. Star, you know everybody here: Chris, Ricky, Zombie, and Mr. Saddle Tramp.
Yeah, I was listening to you guys for a while.
Okay. Well, Star, let's talk. What state are you from, and what do you ride?
I'm from California, and I ride the. My first bike was the Scout Bobber, and I recently got the FTR.
Cool. We all saw that. Which one you like better?
Right now I still like the Bobber. But I've only owned the FTR for a month, so I'm gotta probably own it a little longer, and my opinion might change.
What kind of camera setup are you running when you're doing your vlogs and your videos?
I'm using my phone, my iPhone.
What iPhone do you have?
I have the 11.
Wow, you did your first video with that iPhone?
Yeah.
Wow, that came out good.
Thank you.
Well, that's funny. I used my first video with my Samsung 6, which I still have.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so Star, what is your favorite bike mod you've done so far?
Probably my exhaust on the Bobber. Before that, it was the Recluse Auto Clutch.
Okay.
But I had to remove that, so I don't have it anymore. I want it back, but it wasn't working out. It kept slipping, and it was a hassle after a while. So,
what kind of exhaust do you have on your bike?
I have the Hacker Mayhem.
Oh wow, your neighbors love you.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. My neighbors actually moved, and so we have new neighbors.
Did they move because of the Hacker Mayhem?
I know. No, that's not why. But my new neighbors, their family rides, so I hear their bikes too.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, you still with us up there?
Hey, no.
All right, I'm gonna go next question. Everybody think I'm gonna start with Chris, but you guys can think about this in the panel. Your bucket list number one road to ride on a bike. Chris, we'll start with you.
Route 66.
Whole thing?
Yeah,
Okay, Ricky?
absolutely.
Pacific Coast Highway.
That's a good one.
Yeah, all of it. I've never been to the West Coast, so yeah.
Okay. How about Mr. Zombie over there in the UK?
Well, I'm going to be awkward on this one, I'm afraid, guys. I'm busy planning a around the world trip,
What?
and yeah.
Wow.
So that's what I'm looking at doing. So I'm going to do all of it rather than just some of it.
Well, you can't just stop there. Tell us about this.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, it's obviously, I mean, listen, I've got a long story, but I'll try and keep it as brief as possible. I think one of the main reasons why I started doing these long trips of mine, like when I went to Portugal last year, I did 8,000 kilometers in 9 days.
Ooh.
And, just literally, I mean, I wake up in the morning and decide that's it. I'm going for a ride. No planning, no nothing. Just get on the bike and go. And that's the way I like it. But I think the main reason behind that was just obviously I got ill a few years ago with leukemia.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been battling that for some years. And I think you get lots of struggles and things along the way. And I wanted to sort of prove to people that you could do more. And that life doesn't end, you keep going. And so what's happened is that somebody actually approached me, obviously based on the rides and people seeing what I do, and said, look, why don't we do a trip to Australia? And I started playing with that and started looking at that, and the next thing I knew, I went, hang on a second, that's not far enough, and that's not what I want to do. I'm going to do all of it. And so what we're talking about at the moment is Indian, or potentially looking at launching an adventure bike late next year, possibly the year after.
Wow.
So what I'm looking at doing is either taking that bike or taking the FTR and creating an adventure style bike from that, and just getting on the bike and going and see where I can get to.
Got some behind the scenes for you. Lucky you.
Yeah, man.
That's pretty awesome.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Star, how about you?
It'll probably be somewhere in New Zealand because that's kind of like my dream destination.
Okay.
I don't know any roads there, but I will find some.
Well, you can hook up with the two Kiwi riders.
Yeah,
exactly.
I was just gonna say
they can show me some roads.
Absolutely.
I will let them know when I'm there.
Yeah. And Mr. Tramp, yourself?
Anonymous, one of the things I do a lot whenever I have spare time is that I'm always looking at Google Maps and seeing where I can go, what the roads look like. And I guess I could sum it up like this, that my dream ride is something I started back in 2006 that I had to stop, which was stay as far and as long as possible from where I started. And so if I have to pick a destination, the best thing I could think of from where I'm at that is feasible, humanly possible, for me would be probably the southern tip of Baja, California, or somewhere maybe Prudhoe Bay, Alaska, and to do it on the most, if not Alaska, the northwest part of the U.S., and do it on the most impractical means necessary, which would be the bike I built, which probably won't happen, but I could always dream, at least do it. But nevertheless, I think everything I have now is impractical for a long trip. So let's do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for those who don't know, tell them what you would ride to that destination.
Oh golly! If time and money was not an essence, I'd ride the Tramp, man.
Right.
The bike I built.
What is that bike?
It's you listen to that Johnny Cash tune about the one piece at a time Cadillac. That's what that bike is, man. It's not a Cadillac, but it's one piece at a time for sure. It's licensed as a 1990 not FLH. I'm about to say that 1990 XLH Sportster Deluxe, but that's only that because of what's on the neck and what's on the title. Everything else is all points in between. You know, an O2 drivetrain, a Fat Boy back wheel. I don't know where that front wheel came from. A narrow glide front end that's like 10 inches over stock. And I don't want to get on the soapbox about it because I'll take over the whole chat about it, because I don't want to do that. But that would be the bike I would ride, because I know it inside and out for the most part. And nothing's more exciting than to take a long trip on something that the general public and the culture would say that you don't want to do it on that. Well, you know, you built it with your hands. Why not? You know, ride it around the world, and you have something to talk about. Nevertheless, it's not for the sake of having something to talk about, but it's a sense of satisfaction and accomplishment. And I can't really explain it unless you do it. But that's just me. That's just me. You know, that's just, you know, my preference. It's not it's not gospel. It's just It's just me. You know, so it's like when I rode last year 700 miles to Texas, you know, from where I live, on something that was a pile of parts in my garage. You know, I was like, holy crap, that pile of parts took me there and it's going to take me all the way home. And, you know, ride it around the world, you know?
Yeah. Why not?
That's just, anyway.
Maybe you can link up with Zombie and do the world tour.
That's it. Let's go.
Zombie Tramp Tour 2021.
Oh, that would be cool.
Where you have you need pictures.
Yeah, we'll need to call ourselves the Zombie Tramp.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be
good
cool.
band.
Like one channel.
Where are you from, Zombie?
The UK. I'm just outside London.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I'd have to teach the bike how to swim, I guess, to get there.
Just put a snorkel on it.
I need a snorkel and some pontoons on that.
Yeah.
If anybody could do it, you could do it, brother.
Yeah, there you go. It'd be Snorkel Tramp.
How about you, Anonymous? We want to hear a little bit about you. How about you?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of your bike and all that?
I'll get to that. Let me just keep going here, buddy. All right, I'm going to ask you, since most of the people on the panel are Indian riders, what is your favorite non-Indian motorcycle? Ricky?
I love the Harley Davidson Road King.
Okay.
I really like that bike. Okay. Everywhere I go, I see it customized, and it's the one that I'm attracted to.
Okay. How about you, Star?
It's gonna have to be the Triumph bobber, because that's actually the one I was looking at before I got the Indian.
Okay. What made you pick the FTR over the Triumph?
Actually, it was over the bobber, the Scout bobber.
Oh, okay.
And, I think because the Indian name, to be honest, and not only that, I think it looks nicer. So yeah, that's just my opinion. Not to say that bike, obviously I like that bike. So
yeah.
But I think the looks and then the name Indian kind of sold me. I kind of always wanted an Indian. So
cool. Mr. Zombie.
Oh, so my favorite non-Indian bike definitely is the ZZR 1400. I have a bit of a speed addiction.
Sounds
and it's the one bike that's big enough to take me. So I'm limited in choices. outside of that, I have some limitations. So it's I think you get to a certain point where you just have to be honest with yourself. So that's me.
All right, Chris, how about you, bud?
Honda CBX 1000.
Okay, cool. Mr. Tramp, I think I know yours.
Well, you said that's non-Indian. I mean, do I have to say non-Harley?
You can, yeah. Actually, let's ask you that question.
Yeah, outside of Harley Davidson, I've always had an affection for the small Hondas, you know, like the VLX or the A750.
Okay.
And if somebody told me to pick a bike, I'd probably I really like the Indian Chieftain Dark Horse. I think that's a pretty cool bike. It looks like a really nice one for taking on the road.
Yeah, sure. All right, so now let's go. Ricky, I'm going to start with you. How did you come up with your name? Actually, it's pretty clever.
So I was a tour guide back in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And obviously that first impression it makes it or breaks it. So the first thing I would tell everybody, hey, my name's Ricky. I'm not Ricky Martin, even though I look like him. And everybody would crack up laughing. So everybody just kept on calling me Ricky Martin, Ricky Martin, Ricky Martin. I'm like, wait, I'm Ricky, not that good looking. So Ricky, not so Martin.
That's pretty funny. Mr. Zombie, yourself?
Yeah, mine is obviously a bit more serious, but quite personal to myself. Obviously, as I was saying, I got sick some time ago. So the undead is really sort of the confusion and the struggle that you sort of, you're alive, but you're not kind of thing sometimes. The Viking obviously represents the warrior spirit, and the zombie really is the wandering, just getting lost and not necessarily having anywhere specific to go.
What about you, Star? I know where the bobber came from.
So my name is actually Estrella, which is star in Spanish. So
okay, cool.
A lot of friends and even family members call me Star. So my name is Star.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Chris, I'm not asking you because I think we can figure that out.
Yeah.
And Mr. Tramp, yourself, obviously the Tramp comes from the bike.
Well, it's more than that, It comes from just a little fantasy in my own little head. Before the Tramp was ever built, I really fell in love with the song from Charlie Daniels, Saddle Tramp. And I think who's the other guy? The guy before him, the country singer, sang about Saddle Tramp. But anyway, Charlie Daniels sang about a cowboy drifter. He was always on his horse and he's going from town to town. Everybody knew who he was. They called him Saddle Tramp in the song, but everybody knew who he was everywhere he went. But they never knew when he would come back, and he never promised to come back. And they always wondered if he was a really happy man. And I came across that song back when I was doing that in my own little life back in 2006. And it fit me so well, my own mentality. And I guess I never grew out of it as far as just going where I want, whenever I want, for however long I want. And even though I got domesticated, it just never left me as far as the idea of it. So I built my bike that I called Saddle Tramp because I built it in such a way that it looks like it's ready to ride off into eternity and not come back or come back. Who knows?
Right.
And it's just, me being too deep for my own good. But that's how I came up with that. That's why I named the channel that I have, because I made that little video. I built this little motorcycle, blah, 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 blah. Call the channel Saddle Tramp. There it is. Bam.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it is what it is.
Cool. We got some more new people in the side chat. We got Bodine 52, the Aussie and the Indian from Australia.
Oh, nice.
Bombshell Biker down in Maine, PA Bearded Biker. Thanks for coming in, guys. And Chevy 80Z. And then we got Outback Outlaw from down under coming way over.
Ozarks is here too. Cool.
Yeah, Ozarks is here. All right, Chris.
Yes.
What does a motorcycle symbolize for you?
One word: freedom.
Okay.
Oh.
How about you, Star?
That's a good one, freedom. I don't know. I can't really think of anything now that he said freedom, to be honest. I don't know. I guess for me, it's the same thing, like freedom, clearing my head, being an individual. I'm a very, what's the word? Not antisocial, but awkwardly.
Yeah. Introverts.
I'm
there you go.
very introverted. So
I think that's most of us.
Yeah, so I tend to do things where it's kind of just me. I like to run. That's just me. I like to do like my workouts is by myself. I'm not. So same thing with riding. It's just me. I actually even prefer to ride by myself, not in groups. So
right.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's it.
How about you, Ricky?
Yeah, man. I hate to repeat it, but I think that we all agree that's the word for sure, freedom. And you get behind those bars and nothing else matters, especially during these times. Those of us that can ride, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Zombie, Tramp, you feel the same?
Yeah, I guess so. And as far as I'm concerned, everybody says the same word, freedom, but yet there isn't any other way to put it. As introverted mentally speaking, yeah. I don't know how else to explain it. Star hit it right on the head. I think we all feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
You're set apart from society. Rather, you see it on the roads. Everybody's in their automobiles doing their thing, but we're on two wheels, at least getting the wind in our face and going where we want to go. And if you're as lucky in some states, you get to go in between the cars and do your own thing. So, like in California,
yeah,
that was a culture shock to me when I went to LA for the first time. I was like, "Holy crap! You can do this? I wish I could do this at home, man."
Jealous.
Star, you lane split all the time?
I do, yeah. I do. I don't need to too much on the freeway. Our traffic here in Fresno is not too bad. I can imagine somewhere though in LA where that would come in handy, but I typically do mine at like stoplights, so that way I'm first to go.
Everybody's pretty cool about that, letting you go through?
For the most part, yeah. I haven't come across any issues. I haven't hit any mirrors.
No, you haven't lived yet.
Well, MTR is actually really hard to lane split in because the dang mirrors are so high, and so there's been a time or two where I've almost hit the car's mirrors because I'm not used to it. My mirrors are turned down on the bobber, so I'm like, no problem. So I need to do something about that quickly.
All right. Okay, Chris.
Yep. Got me.
Who was your biggest influence for you to start YouTube?
Probably all the OG Indian motorcycle world.
Okay, like who?
Probably the first person I watched was
Mr. Picasso.
Probably the open roader. Yep.
Okay, cool. All right. How about you, Mr. Zombie?
Yeah, it's been a weird journey for me. I think most of my stuff is obviously generated from Instagram originally anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So the Kiwi riders were a big influence for me. Just obviously the sense of humor and how they go about things. But then again, also the bearded bobber and, again, a lot of the guys that are here. So just a big shout out to Ozarks as well. If you can hear me, mates, you're a champion. I really appreciate all the support you give me. Ozarks has been one of the guys that's consistently been there and supportive. And, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, Ozarks, that guy is just unbelievable. He's on awesome. Everybody's channel all the time.
You know how YouTube gives an award to content creators who reach a certain status of subscriber base, like you get the silver button award, the gold button award. I think that guy, he needs an award from somebody, from all of us, to his place for being the supporter of all content.
Yeah, he's gold star supporter, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Platinum.
Yeah, he sure is. I lost two. We lost Chris. All right, Ricky, who was your reason for starting YouTube influence?
So specifically, this channel and the Instagram account about the Scout Bobber, definitely the Indian world OGs. Dazzle Rebel, definitely Brandon Picasso, Invictus Knox, J Fast for sure. J Fast is like one of the ones my go-to before buying the bike. So yeah, these guys definitely inspired me because when I was just about to buy the bike, I couldn't get enough videos. I couldn't get enough pictures. And I've seen a few live streams and it seems I'm not the only one. So I promised myself, I did videos beforehand. So I promised myself, once I get this bike, I'm making videos. I'm taking as much pictures as possible because there's somebody else like me out there that wants to see as much as possible. So
yeah, good point. Now, Star, I know you just started with the YouTube, but you have a pretty huge Instagram page. You just hit 10K. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what basically influenced you to get into the YouTube side of it?
I just kind of wanted to just kind of broaden my opportunities, really. I wanted to for a while. I'm really shy. So I kind of felt like always uncomfortable and awkward in front of a camera. So I kind of had to just, get through that. And it definitely helped having the Instagram page because I don't really get a lot of negativity on that page, to be honest, here and there, but not very often. So I know I had a lot of support from a lot of my followers, and of course from all of you guys, and again, the OG Indian motorcycle world people and the YouTubers, all of you guys. So so it's just a combination, I think, of like, my followers asking to if I was ever gonna do YouTube, and then of course, all of you guys. So
well, I saw your first video, you're over 1,000 views already. And what do you got? 300 plus subs in your first week?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good start.
I'm changing my name to the Star Zombie now.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll help me.
I'm going to be anonymous Star. Saddle Tramp, how about you? Who influenced you to get into the YouTube world?
That is an interesting story that I don't know all the details to. It's just like one step after another type of thing. I had another channel that was an evangelism channel, and I gave up on that. Well, slowly gave up on that. Opened up another channel so I can just subscribe to motorcycle channels, because I was, I never lost that identity. And like I said, well, I think I've told you the story before that I made a video about the bike that I built, with a cheap video, with my cell phone, and I stuck it up there, and that with no intention of making anything of that account. And then, being that I wasn't doing anything with my other channel, I started going to other motorcycle events, started using this camera more often. And one thing, Lisa, I didn't really have any specific individual that started me into doing the Saddle Tramp channel. That I was just documenting the things that I like, and it turns out to be that the things that I like are motorcycle stuff, and what you see is the result of that. It's just one thing that went out, like I said, one thing went after another, and here it is. There wasn't really any one person that inspired me to do it. I mean, not to say that I haven't picked up tips along the way from other channels, but I mean, it's just been little stuff here and there as far as what to do. But eventually I picked up my own little way of doing things, and one little niche or whatever, however you call it.
Sure. I got into this. Actually, I was looking for an exhaust for my bike and started watching Brandon Picasso, because he got that Trask exhaust on his bike, and I wanted that myself. And I probably, like Ricky said, I looked for video after video after video on that exhaust, and I think I watched Brandon's about 60 times. I put it on in my car with the windows up to hear how it would sound. Put it at red lights. I think everybody's done that, right?
Yes. I
just wanted to see how it sounded, and then I watched him do the install, and then that led to the Dazzle Rebel and then Saddle Tramp and everybody else. So just kind of snowballed after that. So Brandon, if you're out there, you feel the love.
Yeah, Brandon. Shout out to Brandon.
And Brandon's got that $10 million smile.
Yeah,
can't miss it.
It's a cool group of people, man. The Indian motorcycle world, they're so freaking awesome, man.
Yeah, they are.
I could agree.
So Brandon just said in the side chat, 100% he was in the kitchen drinking, not paying attention.
You're slacking, brother.
But you're still probably smiling, so that's okay. Thanks, Brandon. As he would say, what's up, you beautiful people? All right, so Mr. Zombie, does riding a bike transform any other areas of your life?
I suppose it's one of those things that, coming back maybe a little bit towards what we were talking about before. My bike for me is my freedom device, and I go through sort of a weird transformation when I get on it, because I'll be in a situation where I ride 11, 12, 15 hours a day, get off the bike and not actually know or be conscious of actually riding at all, other than the fact that maybe I'm a bit tired. So it's just like I get into that sort of peace zone, and I think that's what Tramp was talking about earlier. Is you just sort of lose yourself in the moment, and you just get to the other side, and you're happy. And I think the only time that I actually become conscious is when I stop for fuel or something, and you think, oh, okay, an hour is gone, or 2 hours is gone. and that's just really where I go. It's such a it's almost like an out of body experience sometimes for me, and you know, obviously I don't want to be the serious guy all the time because I you know, but you know, that's really what it is. That's the honest answer. It's just a case of you just lose yourself, and I think that's for me, especially at the moment, being in a situation where I can't really ride. I mean, I'm supposed to be isolating myself for the next 3 months, and you know, it sort of affects you quite a lot, not being able to find that peace. You know, it's almost like, you know, however, you know, some people have got different ways of chilling out or, you know, relaxing. For me, is when I'm on the bike, and it's just an incredible experience. And I think that's one of the reasons why I ride an Indian above all other bikes, is because the moment you get on the bike and you've got the bike that is for you, like Tramp's, Harley, or whatever the case is, you get on it, you smile, and you feel like you're at home. And whatever that bike is, doesn't matter what it is. When you're at home, you feel at peace and you do your thing. So whether or not you do, like I do, long rides, or someone else does short rides or whatever, everyone has their sort of way to go, but it is just that, you know, feeling at home. And I actually have got goosebumps sitting here.
Yeah.
So it's just like, because it's such a real feeling.
That means you bought the right bike.
Absolutely, mate.
There you go.
The only thing that I want to do is I want to get a Challenger, because I can get to mix my love of speed and distance.
Maybe you may be the new world's fastest Indian.
Yeah, possibly. I'll tell you what, when I took the bike out for a ride when I was doing the video,
I saw that.
At one point, I actually had to delete some of the video because I was doing I don't know, a lazy 50 mile an hour, maybe a little bit more in 6th gear, and I just thought, well, let's try this out, and I just accelerated. The next thing I knew, I was doing 130, and it was just unreal. It was just, I mean, it's just, you know, when you find a new home and you just sort of don't want to get off. It's like I just want to take the bike and go home.
Wow. Ricky, how about you? Transform any other areas of your life?
Yeah, man. Just like Undead Viking was saying, man. And I every time I see videos like this of people talking about motorcycling, I think that everybody could relate. Like, we all have going through something or been through something. Like in my case, not to get too much personal, but I had just moved from Puerto Rico. The economy was really bad. Me and my wife just picked up everything and moved over here alone. So it was just me and her alone. And I just needed something to get my mind off, you know, everything else. And that's how I started into motorcycles, like a means of transportation. But oh my God, I got the bug, and yeah, it was the end of that. And you know, a hard day of work, you got your bike outside waiting for you. That solves it all. You just get on that bike, forget about everything, and then everything's all good to go.
Yeah, something about when you fire that bike up and hear your exhaust, huh?
Especially that exhaust.
He's cheating.
Yeah. Well, I think Star's cheating with the Hacker Mayhems.
Yeah.
How about you, Star? Any kind of transformation in other areas of your life from riding?
I think it's definitely, so my perspective is going to be a little different, for one, because I am a female. So I think it's given me a lot more confidence, and that kind of mindset of I can do anything. And so that has transferred in a lot of other areas in my life. But it's also surprisingly has made me a better mother. You know, I don't know if all of you know, but I am a mom of 3. And so it's seriously, it's as crazy as it sounds, me riding is my mommy time. Like I get to, like, you know, be myself. And it's not, I don't have the kids and they're not my first priority. It's me, my mind, and, you know, my thoughts, my music. And so, yeah, it's definitely like, I mean, I think all moms have something, you know, we all have something that we need to do to clear our heads, whether it's working out or a hobby. And so mine just happens to be riding motorcycles.
Let me expand on that for you, Star. Being a woman riding in the motorcycle quote world, do you feel any issues or problems you ever come across from people?
I don't, to be honest. I think my biggest issue, and it's not even an issue because I think it was all in my head, I tend to overthink, was I didn't feel like I'd be accepted in the community because because I was a female, you know, I was a woman, and I didn't want, like, you know, she's doing it for attention. She's doing it for, you know, other reasons that aren't the real reasons why I'm doing it. So, but I've never came across that. You know, I've received nothing but respect from, you know, from you guys, from Instagram, from, you know, if I attend bike nights or wherever I go with my bike, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's start and go into the YouTube side of it. Start with Ricky here. What do you find is your biggest issue when editing videos?
I think it's like how to tell the story. You know, I think it's like even before editing, making the video in my mind, knowing what shots I need for it and all that. I think that's like the hardest part, like putting it all together.
Okay. How about you, Mr. Tramp?
With me, my biggest issue with editing is really timing, I guess. Say trying to have something out at a specific time, but on top of that is
there we go.
You know how I say I don't know what I'm going to film next?
Yeah.
Okay. While I'm filming what I'm filming next, I have no idea, at the same time, not any idea what I'm going to do with it while I'm filming it. So my biggest challenge is trying to make it worth something, you know, because it's really, I don't have a plot most of the time. So I don't have a storyline. I'm just filming what I'm doing, and then putting it all together like a gumbo or a jambalaya or whatever, you know, and make it taste good is the challenge for the viewer, to keep them there and to make it interesting for them. I mean, it's interesting to me, but not what interests me. That doesn't always interest the other guy, but nevertheless, just try to make it somehow keeping something that would keep people there. In other words, I make videos. I try to make videos, edit videos in such a way that would make me interested in watching it.
Sure.
And if it doesn't keep my attention, why in the world would it keep some? Not that I'm the standard, but you know, at least try to make what makes sense to me.
Right.
As far as how I cut the frame, what music I add, or what the content is, the timing of the shot, the camera angle, and all that stuff. You know, I guess I'm too analytical for my own good, but that's how I think, and I try to make it interesting for me. And I think if it keeps my attention, maybe it'll keep somebody else's. You know, because I get bored easy. You know.
Yeah.
But then again, you know, we don't all think alike. So that's my challenge. You know, what keeps my attention versus what might be interesting to somebody else. You know, that's the challenge to me. You know, and then I got and take this stuff that I got and going, okay, what am I supposed to do with this? It's basically when you're a kid and you got a bucket of Legos and you dump it out on the floor. You know, it's like, okay, let's make something out of that and make it look cool, make it look interesting. You know? That's kind of the same logic with editing videos with me. You know, some people are better at it than I am. They know what they're doing. Me, half the time, maybe even most of the time, I don't know what I'm doing when I'm shooting the camera. You know?
Yeah. Christopher, welcome back, sir.
Yep. I'm back, hopefully.
What's your biggest issue when it comes to editing?
Probably finding the time to do it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess watching it over and over again. When I'm doing it.
Star, what's so funny?
It's a meatball.
Oh,
he told me not to laugh, and of course I'm gonna laugh. You tell me not to do something, I'm gonna do it.
Thought you were laughing about editing challenges.
No.
What are yours?
I'm still new to it, so trying to figure it out. Like even now, I have basically my second video. Everything is filmed, but finding the time to do it.
Yeah.
So, so me still learning, I'm still learning, and then finding the time to do it is a struggle.
Yeah. How about you, Zombie? I think for me, the biggest issue is the complete lack of skill. Like I was saying, when I started doing it, I'd never done this before, and I literally pulled up a YouTube video saying how to put photos together, and I learned to initially start using iMovie, And I suppose within a week I outgrew that, and then I moved over to Premiere Pro. And I think my biggest issue really is the obsession I have with trying to tell better stories, and trying to understand what works, but not just that. So you get a feel for that, and then trying to take that sort of knowledge and then put that into a story that actually translates into what you're trying to say. Because I've got really good ideas. Unfortunately, that sort of translation is a little more difficult sometimes, but it's certainly a process that I really enjoy, because from the creative part of it, and hopefully one day I'll be able to catch up to Ricky. I think his first video's got more views than I'll have in my next 200 videos.
Just buy an exhaust that nobody else has. That's the key. Good drone shot.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something.
The wisdom of Mr. Invictus Knox here. Talent is a pursued interest. Anything you're willing to practice, you can do. Sounds like editing.
Amen to that.
Speaking of drones, Ricky, who on the panel has a drone? Ricky, you have one, right?
Yep.
What drone do you have?
It's the Mavic 2 Pro, the Mavic Pro 2 Zoom, something like that.
Yeah. Anybody else have a drone?
I'm in the market for one.
Yeah. Ricky, do you find that they added a lot of value to your production, or do they take a lot of time?
They definitely take a lot of time, and I know that Brandon Picasso could relate. He sent me a video on Instagram of his drone crashing for his latest video.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I love it, man. I think it's definitely worth it. Like I told you, like the part that I love the most is not this part, like being in front of the camera, is more about the B-roll and the cinematics. So that's definitely the drone is definitely one thing that I never leave home. Even though I don't use it all the time, I never leave home without it.
Is that the first drone you've had?
Yes, sir.
Wow, you went big time on the first one, huh?
But I used to do some social media marketing back home in Puerto Rico, and I used to work with this other guy that he had a drone.
Okay.
So that's why I
Good.
started.
You can fly and crash his, so then it doesn't cost you money.
Exactly. Yeah. You learn with his, and then now I got mine.
So, Tramp, you're looking at a drone possibly?
I've been shopping for one, being that I have absolutely no idea what's the best, but I do have an incentive to know what is good. I've been looking at DJIs, and I've been looking on eBay for whoever's got a good used one or refurbished one, and I've been bidding on one or offering this guy for a Mavic Mavic Pro that's still brand new, hadn't been used, so he hadn't accepted my offers yet. But it comes with a couple of batteries. But I just want to get some aerial footage, something just to do something different, than what I have been doing, And I guess if you don't want cheap stuff, however I put it, go with the best of the best, but not too overboard. I figure DJI is good stuff. But yeah, I'm kind of in the market for it, but I haven't been pursuing it too hard because I don't want to jump in with both feet with my eyes closed at the same time, because I don't know anybody who really has one. That's why I'm going real slow with it.
Ricky's got one, right? Ricky, you followed Saddle Tramp on Instagram?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
so I think maybe he could help you out with that.
That's cool.
Let me check.
How about Zombie, Star, Chris? You guys looking at drones or?
For me, not at the moment. So, but that's not to say that I will eventually look into them in the future.
Yeah. So
I'm definitely. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm definitely after a drone. I've got a small one, a bit of a cheapo, but it's more to learn the ropes. I think make sure that I get it right before I invest in a DJI Mavic Pro, Ricky Not So Martin model. I'm trying to start at the bottom and work my way up to the masters.
Yeah.
Yo, the more expensive drones make it easier. They have sensors. I don't do anything. I just do a little square on top of my body and ride. Yeah.
How fast can you ride your bike that it'll track you?
Like about 35 miles per hour, 40 miles per hour. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
but
That's
it stays a little bit back, but which
Yeah.
makes a really nice shot. So,
And how high up do you put it?
I don't remember, man. There's a limitation by the FAA. I think it's 1,000 feet, but I'm not sure.
Okay, but you're getting like a serious panoramic view.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. We'll have to borrow yours. Can we borrow yours and I'll practice?
Of course. Let me know. No, but I'm telling you, man, it's definitely worth it. It's expensive, but like I say, man, it does everything by its own. It has all these automatic shots. Definitely worth it.
Yeah. So a comment from it. Go ahead, Trent.
And you have the Mavic Pro 2?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So what's the improvement between the 2 and the Mavic Pro?
So the latest one, it has sensors all around, which that helps you not crash it. So it has sensors on the top, on the bottom, and all the way around. Also, the camera sensor is a little bit bigger, so the image quality is a little bit better. I think those are like the main improvements. Also, like the tracking, what it does to track you, it does like these shots all around. It all does it automatically, and all that has been improved too. Okay,
that's cool to know that, because I'm shooting in the dark as far as what to look for on these things. That's cool to know. Because at first I was looking at the spark, and I thought, well, that thing seems kind of like it might be sensitive to the wind. And then I'm looking at the Mavic Air, and then I thought, well, I don't know. And then I look at the Pro, it's like well, definitely that's better than the Air. Then there's a 2.
Yeah.
Then I'm thinking to myself, well, there's a reason they came out with a 2. So I'm trying to, but I don't have anything to reference against.
Yeah.
Drone ignorant.
They're all good, man. They're all good. The only thing is these little things that makes it a little bit easier. But if you're just looking for drone shots and you don't want to be, too crazy of flying it in between buildings and all that.
Right.
They even came out with the DJI Mavic Mini, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like $600, and it does practically everything that mine does.
Ricky, does that have active track on it?
Yes.
It does.
Yeah, that's the main thing I'm looking for. Something that will track me when I ride, so I can do aerial footage of riding, and also mainly that, up to a certain amount of speed, and something that's relatively easy to control when I do a different intro when I'm working in the garage, like flying in, all of a sudden you're in my garage or some crap like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's definitely, riding around, you have to stop by the road, set everything up. So it's a hassle. But once you add that to your videos, I think the quality.
Ricky, how long from pulling over the side of the road till you're up in the air time-wise does that take you for the setup?
I would say like about less than 10 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad.
I mean, we play with cameras longer than that, right?
Yeah, that's a fact, man. Ain't nothing new to us.
Especially when we forget to put the memory card in.
Don't tell me about that. I've flown my drone, and once it's up there, record, no memory card.
Oh, no. Terrible. Someone just made a comment in the side chat. Just make sure everybody who's in the side chat is checking out everybody's channels and Instagrams and showing everybody support. So make sure everybody knows who everybody is.
Let me see.
All right, so one other question coming for you guys. Anybody have any collaborations with any video creators coming up? Star, you?
No.
Why don't you tell us then about your Indian motorcycle, the photo magazine stuff?
Hey.
Oh yeah. So I got an email from Indian. When was it? Like in October of last year, and honestly, I thought it was a prank. And so yeah, they just asked. They were looking for riders to do this photo shoot and be part of. They actually told me it was for the clothing line, like a new clothing line, because it was kind of, I guess, secret for the magazine. So honestly, when I went for the photo shoot in November. I still didn't really know what it was for, to be honest. So yeah, and then it turned into there was, an interviewer there, and he was interviewing me, and I kind of put it together. I'm like, okay, they're gonna do some kind of article, because why else is this guy here? Like, he's recording everything I'm saying, he's asking me all these questions. So then and then we didn't get to see any of these like new clothing, like these new apparels that they're talking about. So I'm like, all right, so like, what's really going on here? And so after a couple of months later, I finally emailed her and I was like, so what's going on? Like, what did I just do? And so, yeah, she said, I don't have the magazine, you guys. So
they didn't send you a copy?
Well, what happened is the lady in charge is working from home. So she doesn't have access to the magazines that she was supposed to send the people. Yeah. So it might be a while until I get one. At least my hands on one.
You happy with how it came out?
Yeah. So everyone's been sending them to me, so I've been able to like zoom into like a little bit of the articles and the pictures. Yeah, they were cool. It was a really fun shoot. It was a really fun experience. Everyone, there was really nice, and yeah, there were 6 writers. So I shot with one other writer, and he had an FTR. So that was really cool. I think that was the first FTR I saw in person, to be honest.
Is that when you started getting the bug?
I got the bug before. But yeah, I mean, even seeing his, it was kind of cool. I wanted to sit on it. I didn't ask him. He's really cool. But yeah, so it was just cool. I honestly, I don't know who the other, people are. I wish I had the magazine so I can read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Mr. Zombie? Any collaborations with people on your side of the pond, like Gorilla Biker or Dano Moto or Dazzle?
Well, I think just to follow on from Stars, I've also been approached by a clothing brand to help them model some new fashions that they're launching. It's called Rent a Tent. And they're coming out with this special range just for me.
This guy.
So you'll be a layout in the magazine, you're saying?
Yeah. It's apparently it's a fold up centerfold, just so that I can fit the whole thing into the screen.
There you go.
But no, I'm talking to Daz at the moment, and also to another guy who I've met recently, Dick Whistles.
Okay.
He's a fairly good guy. He's quite close to me. And there's the Don in London as well. There's a few of those guys, but at the same time, obviously it's a bit difficult at the moment, obviously with things as they are. But definitely, I think that's one of the things that I wanted to do more of this year, is because last year was a little bit solitary for me. So I tended to just sort of do my thing, and like we were all saying, we tend to sort of stick to ourselves. But I think that was my thing for this year, is to try and like with you guys, and this is why we're doing this, is to just get out there and meet some of the people that we don't actually always have contact with, and it's great to be able to do this kind of thing.
Right. How about Ricky? Now you're surrounded by, you got D's out there, you got Iron Cross Racing. You hooking up with any of those guys to do a video? You got Knuckles TV. You got them all over there.
Yeah, Texas is pretty badass.
Yeah.
I've actually been talking to Dirty D's, but obviously with all this thing going down.
Yeah. He's fairly close to you, right?
Yeah, San Antonio, super close. Yeah,
okay.
I love it. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Chris, you got any plans with hooking up with any motovloggers?
The only thing right now is Sturgis, as long as Sturgis still happens, but there's always the option. Redbeard Syndicate actually lives here in NEPA. I rode with him a couple times. Okay. And of course, you got PA Bearded Biker. Could always meet up with him. There's plenty of options out here in PA.
Yeah.
Some smaller channels.
Mr. Tramp.
What's that?
Any collaboration work coming out with any other motovloggers?
Well, there's this dude I know named Anonymous Biker Uso.
Yeah, you've seen enough of him already.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
I'm sorry. Look, I do know that Scooter Tramp Scotty's around the corner from me right now. At least I think he still is. And he is, when I talked to him yesterday, he was telling me he's still going to be in town for a couple of days. And he's kind of seemed like he wanted me to come by again, I guess because he's been trying to do the isolation thing. And when you live like he does, you met him, he tried to stay up in the woods for about 8 days, and it like drove him freaking nuts. You know, he couldn't sit still anymore.
Yeah, so, I went up there with him and went into the woods where he was, and it was pretty remote.
Yeah, it was pretty remote. Now he's literally around the corner from my house, at Puppy's house, and anyway, I may end up seeing him before he leaves again, and that one kid that was in my video that I just uploaded, what was it? Jeremy. That's it.
Yeah, Jeremy Hammock.
Jeremy Hammock. Yeah, I think he's still there too.
Yeah.
So I may go visit those guys before it's all over with.
Cool. Well, look, we're about an hour and 10 minutes in. I don't want to keep everybody, so I'm gonna go around with one final question. Very simple.
All right.
And we'll start with Mr. Neepa. And I just want to describe how writing makes you feel in one word.
That's a tough
not
one.
it.
There's so many words.
That's 4 words, Chris. Come on.
You said simple. I'm simple.
Simple is your answer?
Oh, God. Cheap. I don't know.
Yeah, all right.
I can't think of it in one word.
Writing makes them feel cheap. Put that on a T-shirt.
I feel cheap.
Mr. Zombie, what's your one word?
Alive.
Great word.
Oh,
great word.
Yes.
What you got, Ricky? How about you?
Liberated.
Word. Mr. Tramp?
I have to say sovereign, meaning sovereign, you know, complete sovereignty over where I'm going and where I'm right now.
Let's finish it off with Star. What do you think?
So mine is 2 words. It's in control.
You got to make it one.
No, in control. In dash control.
Yeah.
That's what sovereign means.
Huh? Right. All right. So, anybody got any questions amongst each other while we're here?
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I couldn't say that right.
Good question.
They're better than me.
Yeah, at the moment, I don't really have too many other questions other than it'll be nice to catch up with some of the other guys who I haven't really spoken to much, although we've connected on Instagram. I think Star and Ricky. It'd be good to catch up a little bit better, So it's been good. So that's really the thing for me, is just to spend more time with getting to know you guys a bit more,
Well, Instagram has definitely made the world a smaller place. That's for sure.
That's a fact.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I will say with everybody here in the panel, and then everybody mostly in the side chat, everybody is so responsive to messages, and everybody gets back to everybody. Everybody's helpful. It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty badass.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky, you're like on it. Boom! As soon as I send you something, bam, there you are.
Yeah.
And you know what, Ricky, that photo shoot you did with the Austin Art Show.
Oh yeah.
That was awesome.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
You did a really good job with that.
I'm trying to start doing more videos now. Start uploading stuff to YouTube. Finally.
Well, you just got to hit 201,000 in your next video, and you're there.
Yeah.
I think Star's going to be at 50,000 views in a month.
For sure.
It's pretty good. So, well, that's everything I got, guys. So for the first live stream on my end, I want to appreciate and thank everybody for coming.
Oh, wow. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
thank
man.
you.
Anonymous.
Nice.
Anonymous is pretty good at this. What do you guys think, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
It kept flowing. I didn't even know it was already an hour. It was pretty badass. Thank you, Anonymous.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I
Thank you guys for coming.
I would have thought you'd have done this before.
Never done it, sir.
I know.
I wonder what he
does in my prior life.
Look, I suck at it, man. You're definitely better than me, because I've only done like 4 or 5 times.
I can't build an iron head from the ground up.
I couldn't even get onto the live stream. Never mind host it.
If anybody needs help with a drone, let me know, because that's all I know how to do.
We'll be definitely asking you.
I will say this: I can't build an iron head, but I did stay in a Holiday Inn Express last night.
There you go. Let 'em come. Transfer comedian on Saturdays.
Nice.
All righty, guys. Well, thank everybody. We're going to sign out. Thank everybody in the side chat, and we'll catch you on the next one.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.
Peace, everybody.
Thank you.
See you.
Right.
Bye for now.
Cheerio.